Graham, I know you're a voracious learner and you always want to build on your coaching experience. Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp said they took a great deal from their time out. Looking from the outside in, what did you learn from your time away from football?
No, I think it's exactly that. It's great advice. Sometimes you're stuck in the bubble of football, and on the train of trying to win matches and preparing for the game. And it's nice sometimes just to get a bit of perspective, to understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are, to be able to see that outside of the competition phase. It's really, really, really important to spend time with the family, to see football for what it is. It's a fantastic thing. It's been so good to me, and it's so important for us all. At the same time, it's nice to be able to put it into some perspective with family and with friends, and to see it for what it is. I think then you can be a better person and a better manager.
And in that time away, is there one anecdote or one piece of advice you were given, or a coach that reached out, or a coaching system that you really took something from?
Good question. I think going down to the Falklands was quite a good experience for me. To go out of a football bubble and into a different situation, to see the military and how they work there, in a quite a remote part of the world, to see the conditions that they have to deal with and what the military has to endure at times. I think that was really it was really interesting for me just to experience it. And I suppose it just again puts you in a bit of perspective around football management, and we often think that it's more important than life and death football, and there's that, of course, that little line that reminds us of that. But the reality of it is there's a lot of important things out there in the world. But also on that journey, or in that experience, there was a bit around shared experiences of high pressure situations, how you respond, how you deal with things, and really whatever you do in any walk of life, you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to have to deal with those ups and downs, and to see them as part of your journey, and to embrace them really, and to be grateful for them. So that was that was an important sort of experience for me, I think.
Did you go there after you'd learned from your time at Leeds Metropolitan University? You went and did a leadership course, and you've talked about how the leaders on that course, or the people, gave you a whole new perspective. Was it building more on that, going back to things that had taught you to be the coach you were?
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd had 12 years of being in football, and what I thought would be useful for me was to go outside of football, and to reflect back on the foundation of my learning, the foundation of the theory that's behind some of the stuff that I do, to say, okay, what can I pick up here? What can I reflect on? What can I remember? What can I use going forward? So and that academic piece was always about stressful situations and dealing with pressure and dealing with setbacks, because football, like most things in life, is great when you're winning and great when everything's going well, but often the real tests, and when you grow and when you improve, is when things aren't going so well, and then how you deal with that.
That is how tough were you on yourself? Because what the military will teach you, because I was lucky enough to go and train with the Marines, that trained with the England team for a while, and understand what they taught you, is all about the mentality and getting over those really dark times. How cruel were you to yourself after all that?
Yeah, I think that's the balance, or the trick. You've got to be kind enough to yourself to understand that there's a context and there's a situation that also makes it challenging, and at the same time you can't blame everything on that. You've got to be able to piece the bits and pick the bits that are useful to you, not tear yourself to pieces, and at the same time not be so kind and blame everybody else. So it's a process, and I think they'll say the closer you are to the event, the more angry you are, the more painful it is, the more frustrated you are, and then I think when we're human beings, whenever we feel like that, it's easier to blame somebody else, but you've always got to try and pull it back to you. So it's a combination of the two things, but it's, in the end, as I said, you've got to almost see it positively. You've got to be grateful for it. The times when it doesn't go your way, the times when you fail, or the times when you have a setback are the times where, if you allow it, to get the most strength out of.
You are now coming in after a month in this derby to 2 more London derbies, and it brings us about to something quite kismet. On the 22nd of February, you are going to walk out at the Emirates against Arsenal, 7 years on from when you walked out with Ostersons and beat Arsene Wenger 2-1 in that second leg. Of course, you would have looked back at the exit from one club, but if you look at that from the 4th division of Swedish football all the way to the last 8 in the Champions League, that is an extraordinary process. What have you learnt about as a manager since that day when you walked out to go toe-to-toe with Arsene Wenger?
Well, yeah, you're right. It's an amazing journey. Sometimes I don't think about it. Often I don't think about it, but then when I do, sometimes when I'm with other people, because they remind you of it, because it's your life, you don't really take much notice of it. It just happens. But nevertheless, to go from the 4th tier in Swedish football to, like you say, the last 8 of the Champions League is a journey that I'm proud of. I think that Swedish part of gave me a foundation, and it gave me 7 years of developing a football club to the point where you can compete in the Europa League, beat Galatasaray and beat PAOK and Hertha Berlin, and go through in a group with Athletic Club Bilbao. So you've got this foundation of winning football matches, promotion 3 times, a major trophy in the Swedish Cup. And then it's about testing yourself in a different environment. The UK is a different environment, different level up. But the core business, the core things that we do remain the same. I think it's about creating an environment where players feel that they're improving, they're connected to something, and there's also a bit of choice for them, because it's a players' game. Football's a players' game. As much as I can provide clarity, you need the players to be able to make decisions and feel responsible enough to do that. So I've tried to just move forward from the foundation of Sweden and take every experience as I can and try to work out how to improve.
You were linked to a number of jobs before this one. Why West Ham?
Well, for lots of reasons. Ambition of the club, wonderful support, the squad of players, the academy here. So I think there's lots of things in place. There's a lot of work to do still, but there's a lot of work that's already been done, and there's a lot of I think hope and ambition going forward. We just need to understand that we need to take some steps, align the resources that we have towards one direction, and I think we've got an opportunity to do something really special. But at the moment, we're fighting for points, and we're focusing on the next match and doing all those things that we have to do. But the reason for West Ham, the why, I think the ambition of the club, the support, the size of the club, the family feel of the club, the history of the club, the tradition of the club. It's a special football club.
The West Ham fans largely positive about the performance at Chelsea because they saw the nature of what you're trying to bring in. The result irrelevant because they saw the fight that they want to see from a West Ham team. In terms of measuring being full throttle Potter and ensuring that you're away from the relegation, is it safety first before you can fully implement your ideas? And how many points do you think until you can really do that?
Yeah, I don't really look at it like that. I just think that we have to focus on the next match. The Premier League is that relentless, really. It's that tough that you just have to focus on the next game. We're a long way off from where I think we can be and where I want us to be. And that said, there's been some positive signs in terms of, I think, how we've acted and how we are as a team. But we're still a long way to go and a lot of work that we can do. But I think we have to take every game one by one. It sounds like a bit of a boring answer and a bit of a cliche, but every game for us, every training session is more information. It's a chance for us to improve, a chance for us to get to know each other more. We're going to have ups and downs along the way, but it's important that the foundation of what a team looks like and the effort and the intensity, I think that's a start point for us.
Every transfer window is tense, but considering your injuries up front, how nervy were those final days before you got Evan over the line, and how kismet that you could bring him now? What do you believe he can deliver, and is he ready to start?
Well, I think there's always, because of the situation, as you say, with the injuries of the players that we had, a forward was a position that we felt that we could do, that we needed to strengthen a little bit. And then it's about making sure the criteria is fit and set. Evan on loan felt like a good fit for us both. I think he needs a bit of time. We need to be patient with him to start with, but he's a young player that fits into the group really well. He's got some qualities in terms of he knows where the goal is, he can finish, but we have to help him enjoy his football, help him be regular on the pitch, training. So we'll see how he goes in terms of whether he starts or he comes in the back end of the game, but he's ready to help the team.
Lucas Paqueta had some time on the training ground. Will he be fit?
Yeah, he's trained with the team this week, so it's looking positive. He's trained really well. I've been really happy with how he's responded to what we've tried to do. I think the most important thing for Lucas is he enjoys his football and he understands the responsibility that he has for the team, for how he acts, for how he conducts himself. He's been really good.
Do you think he's had sort of not the season he would have wanted? We know he's an absolute world-class player. Can you see getting more consistency from him and from this team as you put over your new ideas?
Well, I think it's fair to say that the season generally hasn't gone as we would liked, and the team hasn't maybe functioned as well as it would like. And when that happens, the individuals in it suffer, and Lucas is not alone in that. But as I said, I can only speak for my time with them. They've been really honest. They've been really open. Their intentions have been really positive, and they've tried to do their best. So, as I've said before, they're not going to be perfect, and we don't expect that, but we expect an attitude and an intention and a togetherness that I think we can see on the pitch. We need to continue that, and we need to carry on building.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.